Yo, what is going down? We finally made it, ladies and gentlemen. Friday, whoo! I feel a little bit out of breath. I feel like I've been sprinting to try to get through this week, but we're here and it's happy hour. And you know what that means here on the Geekish Network. Yo, we're about to get our drink on. But fortunately, I won't be drinking by myself because that means I would have a problem. I got two compadres hanging out with you today. I'm gonna get to those introductions in a hot second. But first, hello, nerds! Woo! And welcome to GeekBeast, part of the Geekish Network. This is your daily rundown of geek news from geeks like me, geeks like you, and geeks like my fellow guests. I'm your host today, Sintel, and I'm followed by, let's see, first up, Stephanie. Stephanie? What's going on with you? Yo, this lovely individual is a host and producer on Untitled Network, fashion show coordinator for Ronin Expo and Anime Pasadena. Cosplays as well. Yo, 10-year vet. Let me tell you, when it comes to looking the part, she shows up ready to go. She's a host and writer for NerdBot and an AP on G-Force, Attack of the Show. Yo, listen, yo, geek resume. Woo! Let me just slow down and let you speak for yourself because I'm geek-splaining right now. So, Stephanie, tell the pretty people out there what's going on with you.
Oh, now, currently I'm on the show, but I am a production assistant for Attack of the Show on G4. I am a baby, still a few months in, learning all the things, but it's been super, super fun and awesome.
Awesome.
Yo, G4 is probably one of the biggest attempts to put geek and nerd culture into the mainstream. I mean, it is one of those things when you're thinking about like the geek Mount Rushmore, G4, just that letter and that number itself should be considered as one of the four heads. Yo, but out of this three-headed monster, I got another one that's just as beastly. He has been a fan of the show and a guest on the show before. Yo, my man Jabby Kowe, he is right at 2 million subscribers, I believe.
I thought you were talking about the other dude. I was ready to clap for the other guy over here.
Yo, my man does it all. He's an actor. He's a writer. He coordinates his own stunts. He does fan films. He's got multiple successful channels, and he is still just getting started, ladies and gentlemen. Yo, Jabby Kowe, welcome, please. Welcome to our
Hello,
Sandbox. What's going on with
everybody.
you? There's the voice. That's the voice that you know when you hop onto his channel, boy. It's legendary. Hey, you enjoying this Friday?
I am enjoying this Friday. It has been. Are you still talking to me, right?
Yes, I'm still talking to you, bro. You don't see me over here fanning the flames of awesome towards you.
This has been a very, very interesting Friday that I have mostly spent with Sintel. I've seen Sintel more in the last month than I have in the last year. It's been crazy. Yeah. We've been shooting like nuts. It's been fun. I got my first sip of alcohol. I don't know what this is called, but I'm enjoying it so far. So.
Hey, first off, you are in my sandbox now, and I have the microphone, and you are getting ahead of schedule of what it is that I do. Brother, I'm the one that introduces these amazing drinks to this sandbox that we're over here enjoying. Yo, but before we get to that, just in case this is your first time tuning in, we cover the Geek News Beat. We share our opinions with you. It's hot to have you on Fridays. The pace is a lot more fun, and it's also a lot more laid back. Why? Because we are drinking. And since we are drinking, the very first thing we have to discuss is what we are sipping on. Stephanie, yo, what's in your glass?
Oh, I got some Lunar Seltzer. This one's like a mango chili seltzer. And it tastes interesting going in, but when you burp it up, it tastes just like mango and chili salt. It's magical.
So hold on, is it better when you burp it up, or is it better when it's going back down?
It's better when you burp it up.
Know. Yo, Jabby, what you over there sipping on, my guy?
Some kind of whiskey. It's just something I picked up from Costco. It's like a Glenlivet or something like that. One of the 12s, but like a specialty 12. I forgot what it was called exactly. This is the last of it, and the bottle just got tossed. But as soon as I finish that, I'll be drinking Angel's Envy. You seen this before?
Oh, you coming to the show double fisting. Angel's Envy. Well, that's good, because we might have to call upon the Lord to drag your drunk ass off someplace safe. Hey, welcome to the chat, everybody. Yo, if you are sipping on something, please let us know. Big shout out to Paul right in the chat. He is always a fan and a part of the family, as well as Johnny Randolph. Yo, happy Friday to you. My man Chuck, he is not here. He's on Players Holiday. He will be back next week, but I know he's sipping something as well. Please say something in the chat. Hey, we're going to go ahead and kind of get this bad boy rolling with just a quick news story while we're wetting our whistle and before we completely go off the rails like we typically do. All right, so first up on the news, music. Hey, if you are a Bruno Mars fan and an Anderson Paak fan, then you are going to be even more excited, because they are going to be one of the next big concerts that's coming to Fortnite, ladies and gentlemen. Yo, Fortnite has been kicking ass and taking names regarding some of their content, having everybody from Travis Scott to who knows what, from art galleries to even information regarding the March on Washington that Dr. King did during the Civil Rights Movement. This platform just shows no sign of stopping. Any of you all checking out Anderson Paak and Bruno Mars?
No, not even a little bit. But I'm here to get educated. You know what I do for a living is react to video, so I'm ready to react to whatever you tell me and be excited about it. Bruno Mars, yes, absolutely, more of it, please. video game character adaptation of some kind. You know?
Truth be told, I actually am surprised that hasn't happened. There's a couple of like really big name actors with a lot of chops that could start having their video game debuts. It used to be in a space where if you were an actor, if you veered away from the silver screen, even to do television, you were kind of looked down upon. And now it seems like those days are kind of gone. Stephanie, how about you? What's going on as far as actor, talent, artists, anything you want on a digital platform? Who are we missing out in these streets?
I'm not a super like gamer, so I know nothing. I am a Jon Snow with this kind of stuff. But has David
Oh,
Bowie been featured in anything instead of just a replicated
Mm.
character?
Not that I could think of. I wouldn't mind seeing him on like
hold up.
Cyberpunk. That would be awesome.
She
What's
just
up?
reminded me of something. Sean Bean from Game of Thrones. That dude is a chameleon and it's one of the greatest actors of all time. I feel like he could be the star of a video game easily. I was showing Achara Jupiter Ascending, which I know you hate,
Mhm.
but he's in that movie, and I'm like, this guy. She's like, does he die in this movie? I'm like, it's Sean Bean.
It's Sean Bean. Of course he dies.
Yes,
Of course. He's like, he looks at the script and he's like, oh no, wait a minute. I'm all the way at the end credits. Wait a minute. Where's my agent? You know I die in these movies.
Yeah, and just for funsies, I threw on the 4K Blu-ray of Lord of the Rings, and of course, like I'm looking at Sean Bean dying in that movie too. This dude, I want him to have his like star moment. He still hasn't properly had his star moment, and I think a video game is a great way to go for him. Leading a game.
Yeah. All right. So what game? I'm assuming you would be like on some Metal Gear kind of game.
Yeah, 006. Because that's who he was. So have his whole backstory.
Yo, you jumped into some dark waters. So, what is it? Idris Elba has been rumored to be the next Bond, then he wasn't, and then he said he had no interest in it, and now some of the producers are saying they're looking his direction.
Do you know who he
we want
blames?
Idris Elba as Bond?
Do you know who he
want
blames
this?
for not getting the Bond role?
Who?
Daniel Craig. He
Oh,
blames
really?
him because this is what I heard. He blames him because Daniel Craig called him out for like saying he should be the next Bond. He's like, now you fucked me out of the role. For some reason, 'cause it started all this controversy.
For
Yeah.
saying it.
Mhm.
Hold on 1 second. Let me. I believe we may be having some slight technical difficulties. Rodney, are we still in here? Give me 1 second. Okay, I just want to make sure if we were still up and running with the stream.
Oh, by the way, the drink was a Glenlivet
Okay,
12.
all right, thank you.
It's called an
All right,
illicit
thank you.
still.
Okay.
I'm just talking to you now.
Yeah, no. Sorry. I just want to make sure our viewers are getting the best experience. Absolutely possible. All right, Stephanie, are you a Bond fan? Is that your neck of the woods?
I mean, Pierce Brosnan was my only Bond. Before that, too young. After that, too old. But I would say if Idris Elba was the new Bond, I would not be angry.
Yeah.
I still haven't even caught up on all of the Bond films. Look, hey, I hear flirting, fraternizing on our dime. No, I'm not mad. That dude is disgustingly handsome.
I'm only a fan of Bond when he's getting blown up at the end of the movie. That's the only time. Did you see the latest one?
The last one? Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, you're like one of the few people that said it was really good. Yeah,
No,
see, obviously it must be good. You saw it twice.
I didn't say it was really good. The first time I saw it, I'm like, all right. And my mom wanted someone to watch it with, and I was like, well, I need to see it in IMAX, so let's go watch it. And I saw it the second time. I'm like, yep, I definitely don't need to watch this ever again. This wasn't that good. So like, I needed confirmation because sometimes movies trick you. Where you watch, you're like, was that good? I think that was good. Then you watch the second time, like, yeah, it wasn't that good. So
yeah.
No Time to Die
maybe.
needed to die.
No time became any time.
Yeah, please die. Like, die right now. This is the time to die. But yeah.
Well, no, we had another interesting piece of news regarding a classic that I absolutely adored. I was a huge Aaron McGruder fan. He wrote a little comic strip called The Boondocks. It's about two kids growing up in the suburbs, two black kids growing up in the suburbs, and how they adapt to their world and how their world adapts to them. It got picked up by Cartoon Network, if I believe right, during their Adult Swim, and it blew up a lot of people that were the voice actors on it. It was a wild, insane success. Everybody from Charlie Murphy was on it, Samuel L. Jackson was on it, to you name it, Regina King. She played two voices. Then there was a rumor that it did like 3 seasons, that kind of went away. And then there was a rumor that it was going to come back, and now it's looking like the reboot has been scrapped.
Oh, you sound so that's disheartening. I have the all 3 seasons on DVD, and I never got around to watching it. And I was actually holding on to it for you. I was like, you know what? You know who'd love this? Is Sintel with the Intel. He'd love this. So I was gonna bring it next time I go to Denver, just to give to you, because I know you like to collect stuff. So.
Absolutely, you kidding me? Boondocks is legendary. Stephanie, were you a fan?
Of course, I loved that show. And
oh, never mind, Sintel. You want the DVDs? I'm just joking. I'm messing.
What's wrong with you, man? Don't be a gift horse in the mouth. Did you have a favorite character?
Just like the companies, like they'll tease that they'll give it to you, and then they take it back.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding. How dare you, TV? How dare you?
I'm really disappointed in this one. But then again, the original cast has been through a lot of changes. I'm so stuck on the original voices by Regina King playing both Huey and Riley, and to recast that, it's just not the same. And then of course the big one, the actor that played Grandpa, he passed away. I forgot his name. It'll come to me in a second. I'm sure the chat will hit me up with it. He passed as well, and those are like the 3 main voices. That's like the spirit and the soul of the Boondocks, is just between those 3 characters for the most part. And to have them no longer be there that would be kind of tough. So maybe it is a little bittersweet, because it probably wouldn't have been able to live up to everybody's expectations.
You don't think they can replace the voices with sound-alikes?
I mean, that's tough, man. I mean, Riley and those are 3 big ones. That's I mean, if it was like one voice, that would be fine. Maybe 2, but all three have to be different people. That's going to change the whole nature of the show, in my opinion.
Let me tell you something. There's a lot of big celebrities who have voiceover doubles all the time. Okay. Idris Elba being one of them. I know his voiceover double. When Idris Elba doesn't want to show up to do his voiceover, he's like, I'm too busy for that. My buddy goes in there and does it. And it sounds exactly the same. You wouldn't know it wasn't Idris Elba. That's how much they sound so goddamn alike. And so they can find someone who sounds just like the characters that you love, and you wouldn't know the difference. They couldn't replace Robin Williams in Aladdin, but
Yeah, see, and that's a good example. Aladdin, that voice is just so ingrained into your brain. Don't get me wrong, I love Will Smith's rendition of playing the genie, but it ain't the same, my guy. It just new.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with Robin Williams, it was also his improv ability, not just the vocal quality, but his improv ability was unlike anybody else. And so they couldn't replicate that. That's why Disney had to bring him back for the 3rd installment of Aladdin.
Facts.
Yeah. But I hear the Avatar thing is still underway, right? On Netflix? Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's some caveats to kind of go with it. Like, all the original creators, all the original showrunners, they all ran for the hills, man. They was like, we don't want nothing to do with this.
No.
So there's that. But I'll say this, the live action one, as far as like the casting is concerned, the casting looks really good. Like visually, as far as the visual representation as compared to M. Night's version, which was, we don't talk about that version, actually. He who shall not be named. So the casting looks good.
Yeah. I watched Old. That was all right.
Was it?
Old, it has M. Night Shyamalan?
Yeah.
It was all right. It wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
M. Night fans?
Am I?
Yeah.
I've been a reluctant fan, I guess, because you know me, man. I'm the black sheep. Like when 300 dropped and everybody was losing their shit, I was like, it's all right. And so when the Sixth Sense dropped and everyone was losing their shit, I'm like, that's cool. And then
Mhm.
the follow-up film though, I liked Unbreakable a lot. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't like Signs. I don't like most of his movies. I mean, what's with the happening? Jesus Christ. But Old was all right. It was fine. I don't know if I'd recommend it as like you got to
Mm.
watch this. It's more like if you have the time and you happen to be flipping through the TV
Mhm.
and it's there, or oh, you're scrolling through Netflix and it's an option and you are maybe slightly curious, I'd say to maybe pop it on and then do something else. But this, this
Stephanie,
is
you got a top M Night film?
Oh, I don't really know movies and director people. Did he
he did
do?
this the Sixth Sense. He did the Sixth Sense.
Yeah, Sixth Sense.
I
Sixth
never
Sense. I
watched
see
The
dead
Sixth
people.
Sense, and that's why Nerd
Oh!
Box mad at me.
He did Unbreakable. He did Signs.
Yeah.
He
No.
did the Avatar: The Last Airbender. He did what else did he do? Devil. I never saw that one. He did Split. He did
Okay.
Split and
Okay.
and Glass. What else did he do? I can't remember everything he's done. The Village or
He
something
pretty
like
much
that.
hit his. Yeah, that was weird. That was the
Oh, this
one with
apartment internet's killing me,
movies.
man. Split would probably be my personal favorite,
Okay.
and then Unbreakable,
Yeah.
and everything else is beyond my knowledge.
Yeah. Unbreakable was cool. I liked it.
Have the both of you seen the animated version of Avatar?
Yes.
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, have you seen it?
Are you kidding me? That's my favorite show of all time.
Oh,
Hands down. That's the best show. That's the best show ever made. I will argue that I will die on that sword. I will fall on that sword rather. That's the
I'm not
hill I'm
fight
gonna
you on
die
that
on.
hill. Yeah, and I will
yeah,
not fight you on that hill
yeah.
because
That's the best show ever made because it has everything I could possibly want, especially as someone who's half Asian, where you come from a background of films that have mixed tonality. That show's got everything. Like it's got the comedy, it's got the heart, it's got dope music, it's got fight scenes that are fun. The animation is cool. It's very Asian cultured and whatnot. I think it's the best show ever made, hands down.
Yeah.
So
And like people love the Harry Potter franchise just because it's a coming of age sort of story, whereas the Avatar: The Last Bender, it has like 4 or 5 different coming of ages.
that's
So
true.
it's
All
epic.
right. So if you had to let me rephrase this question. How would you feel if they had the original creators and they did a live action of The Legend of Korra? Are we still just as supportive? Because The Legend of Korra, a lot of people are on the fence on that one. Some people love it, some people hate it.
Because
It's
we
got a
hate
lot of mixed
teenagers. That's
reviews.
why. I'm sorry. I don't like teenagers. That teenage angst, bro. I would treat it like oh, look what's on the telly. Let's go ahead and give it a
That's
gander sort of
there was
situation.
something about that show that made me mad. I don't know how to put my finger on it. There was something about that show just rubbed me the wrong way. There was a 2-part episode in the middle that I really liked a lot about the first Avatar ever that I thought was really cool, really emotional. I liked that just so much because of the storytelling within it. I thought it was great. Do you remember it? The 2-part episode? Okay, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
But when I got to the end of the show, I was like, I don't know that this was worth it. I'm kind of pissed. I felt like I got my time jacked. Like I want I want those 3 seasons back of time I put into this. And the whole thing with I'm all for more representation and all that stuff. But the ending was like out of nowhere for me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Whoa, hold on! What did you doing? What? Like, what are these characters? Like, I have no issues with that. You know me. Like, I'm for it. I would love to see 2 ladies go for it, but it just kind of came out of left field. It was like, let's just wedge this in there out of nowhere.
And then
what I
they
mean?
end it that way.
Yeah, it just comes out of left field.
Just walk away.
How dare.
Yeah.
But
you know what?
There's a game called Kenna that you need to play, Sintel.
I keep hearing how great it is. Yeah.
It has a bit of that in there, and it does a way better job of handling that material, in my opinion, because it handles it with the same sort of not modesty but conservatism, because they don't want to go full blown like making out girls and stuff like that, right? They're trying to keep it where it's like, oh, we're sort of planting this idea of these are 2 women who have dated, who have loved each other in that capacity. And Kenna explores that a little bit, and I think that they handle it way better than Korra, Legend of Korra did, in my opinion. Humble opinion. I'm not from that crowd, so I can't speak. You got to ask someone from the LGBTQ community what they feel about it. But I just felt that Kenna handled it better than Korra. Both K names. That makes it very difficult. Anyway.
I was on the fence with Korra. The first go round, I didn't really like it. The second go round, I did. It took me 2 times. I still had Aang on the brain. It's kind of hard to shake Aang. But then I also realized that there are some things in Korra that's better than Aang's rendition, and that is the fight scenes. The fight scenes in Korra are legendary. They are just super dope. Like they really dusted off the old script. The choreography and did their thing. All right,
that was a very interesting way to phrase it, though. Aang on the brain.
Yeah.
It just sounds like a way to get out of. I don't know. That just sounds so interesting. I'm going to all the wrong places with that when you say that.
It's hard to shake Aang. He's so lovable. I mean, you feel him all the way through. You feel his pain. You get shy with him as he's trying to talk to Katana. Oh my gosh, can't even talk right now.
I just like thought of like that scene at the end of Munich with Eric Bana when he's having trouble with his lady, and if he just was like, "Yo, I got Aang on the brain. I got to get up, walk out." Like that's just an interesting excuse to get out of something. Did you like Munich? It's a weird place to go.
That was an interesting segue, my guy. I honestly, I did see it, but it didn't stick. It didn't stick as far as like having like memorable moments. And remember, I love quotables. That one didn't really stick with me.
There was a stand-up comic who watched the film around the same time I did, and he was like, they should have called it Eunuch because that's what it felt like when I was watching it. I was like, damn, Jesus,
terrible. Hey, so we are going to segue into some comic books, and all right. So Harley Quinn has had an interesting career. She had an amazing rebirth per se in comics when the original Batman series came out, the late 90s one, and she was talking about Mr. J, and then we kind of forgot about her for a little bit, and then she came back with Suicide Squad, and then she's had her own Birds of Prey, and then she had an amazing show on HBO. I highly recommend it. It's probably one of the best DC series out. Dude, it's super good. It's really good. I don't know, either one of you. Well, obviously you haven't seen it. Steph, have you seen it?
Peacemaker?
No, not Peacemaker.
The Harley Quinn animation?
The Harley Quinn animation, right?
Yes.
It's good. Did you enjoy it?
It seems like you want to talk about Peacemaker, though.
I mean, we can talk about Peacemaker. Is everybody caught up on Peacemaker?
For the sake of
I've watched 5 episodes. Yes, I'm caught up on what's been out so far. No, but about Harley Quinn, I have the comic. I haven't finished reading it though, and I haven't seen that animated the animation you're talking about. But I'm curious about it. I'm curious about it off of your. I'm sorry, and I interrupted Stephanie.
No. You're fine. I was just like, Peacemaker, HBO, what? No, I have seen the Harley Quinn animated series, and it's interesting. It's very interesting. I wasn't sure how I would feel about Haley Cuoco voicing Harley Quinn, but it was okay.
Okay.
Oh, so you didn't like it as much as Sintel did?
Not as much as me.
I like the story. I like the jokes and the premise, but I'm not a super fan of the voice selection.
Okay,
that's fair. Well, Harley Quinn is still in the news today, still including the Joker, because she has shown up in her next act, the Olympics, ladies and gentlemen. So Joker and Harley Quinn made their Olympic debut as a German ice skating duo. So German ice duo, Katharina Müller and Tim Diock performed a routine that was inspired by the Joker and Harley Quinn during the rhythm dance competition on Thursday. So the version of Joker and Harley was chosen that they used the version that was seen in the Jared Leto rendition of Suicide Squad. I think that's the one it is. Yes, the one that came out in 2016, not the Suicide Squad, which is a totally different one. I hate that they named it that. Because there is a difference.
That's a very
big
easy,
difference.
That's a very easy distinction to make. The versus Suicide Squad. Totally easy. How do you mess that up? No one's getting confused.
I'm confused. Damn it! It's simple. Add some more to it. Then no.
You know,
it has to be just something different.
It's just as clear as the Wii and the Wii U. Like no one was confused about that. No parents got confused. You know what I'm saying?
His parents right now bashing their head against the wall for making the wrong decision. So Disney is in the Olympics. Yo, is that cool? Is this another statement of geek culture just absolutely losing its mind?
You said Disney?
Disney?
No, excuse me, not Disney. DC. DC.
DC is in the, well, that's just a costume that was chosen, right?
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily sponsored by DC, right? This is just
no. I'm just saying DC just in general, just in terms of just their universe, their characters.
Oh, I see.
I think that's a very strange thing to be branding yourself with. It's like that's a very toxic relationship at the highest possible level. Like, we're gonna go out as Joker and Harley Quinn because that's us. That's us. We have a lovely. What are you trying to say? Like, what is your branding exactly? We have an abusive relationship. What are you trying to sell?
Yeah,
I have no idea how that's gonna go. But I mean, more exposure to Harley Quinn's cool, I guess, because I like her a lot. Mr. J, I like her a lot. So she's cool.
So it said that the pair's routine started out with DX Joker miming breaking the neck of Mueller's Quinn, and it stated that it only got worse from there. A move that was called aggressive by the giant professional Olympic commentator. He said their not great routine didn't include too many more explicit nods to the duo's characters' impersonation, but at the very end, just as the music faded into Leto's Joker laugh, Dia commented to a grand backbend for the final pose. So, in other words, it pretty much said it was trash. But, I guess you get a bit of a hat tip anyways for trying. And, more people get a chance to see the Joker and Harley Quinn.
You not only did you choose the most toxic relationship to represent your performance, but you chose the least liked Joker. Like, why? Because, people love Jack Nicholson.
That's facts, though.
They love Heath Ledger. They really like Joaquin Phoenix. No one talks about Jared Leto's Joker. Nobody. Not a soul.
You're not lying.
So
it's an acquired taste. Yeah, it's his Joker. His Joker is an acquired taste.
Spit out. Like nobody likes it.
I can't lie. That performance was bad enough to make me be cautiously optimistic about him playing Morbius. Yeah, Morpheus.
It does sound a lot like Morpheus.
Pick which blood pill. The choice is yours. Are we excited about Morbius and Jared Leto's version of Morbius?
I think that I'm excited about anything Marvel in general because Marvel has introduced a lot of characters to me over the years that I didn't know about. And then I discover them through the movies and I'm like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever. That did not happen with Eternals, but that generally does happen where Marvel will introduce someone to me and I'm like, this is super cool. Like no one knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were before that film. Nobody was paying attention to that, right? This was like a throwaway franchise, right? Am I mistaken?
Yeah.
And then once the film came out, that's when everyone was like, oh my God, this is great. And that's when the comic book started selling more, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But you guys tell me. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Honestly, I don't hear any false statements coming out of your mouth.
Yeah. I'm just with the Marvel stuff, I'm always on the assumption that maybe I'm wrong about something so that, it doesn't hurt as much when Marvel fans start coming at me with their fangs and the pitchforks. So,
we know where you live.
Look, the Marvel Cinematic Universe fandom is it's still toxic, but it's not as toxic as the comic book universe fandom.
Yeah.
So to be
as the what? As the which fandom?
Like, the comic nerds. I'm so the comic book nerds, you guys. No, I love comics. But, like obviously some things in film and television aren't going to get the story right. They will be dramatized for the sake of Hollywood. So, when they go hard with their critiques, they go very, very hard. But
Sure. You know,
I
I
mean,
was talking to someone. I was talking to someone the other day about this very thing you're talking about, and this person who shall not be named was like, you know, I love Star Wars, but the Star Wars fans are the worst. Of everybody, they're the worst. With Marvel fans, you just have to like it, and they'll leave you alone. But with Star Wars, they will come down on you for not knowing the name of a place, like Tatooine or whatever. Like they will come down on you hard for not knowing someone's name or where this person came from. They're the most toxic. Now that's not my quote. That's me quoting someone else who also does stuff on YouTube.
all right. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, they're just very, very verbally passionate people out there, and to each their own, I guess. But no,
You
in
know,
regards to circling back into Morbius, I have actually been very curious about it because it was supposed to come out the same time that Bloodshot was originally supposed to come out, and I think it was like early 2020 that both of them were supposed to come out. I don't remember,
Mhm.
but I've been sitting here waiting for Morbius to come out, and lo and behold, finally, there's a little light on the other side of that tunnel, and
Mhm.
maybe we'll see if it's garbage or not. Who knows?
mm,
Like it's Jared
I think
Leto.
it'll. Yeah, I
We
think it'll
never
look pretty.
know.
The trailer was really pretty. I did like the trailer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a very. I believe he's one of the. He's he's a method actor, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting how he interprets a character.
yeah, he
Well,
won Best Actor for Joker, right? That was him.
well, listen. Well, being a method actor is very interesting because I mean, we had an unfortunate demise of somebody who was a method actor that played the Joker as a result of like really full blown going in. Is this
We
dangerous
don't know.
grounds?
We don't know what happened there exactly. There's that jury is still out exactly, but he could not sleep, is what I heard. I don't think that
Ah,
had anything to do with the role because according to Gary Oldman, in between takes, he would go right back
mhm.
into being himself again. He wasn't holding on to that. The method acting you're talking about, he wasn't holding on to that character between takes. He would go
Okay,
back into being Heath Ledger again. So, but
okay.
I don't know. I don't know if it's related or not. But what were you gonna say?
I No, I was gonna say well, multiple things. I heard Jared Leto was such a method actor that it actually pissed Will Smith off because of the simple fact that he wouldn't turn it off. And Will is like, yo, I'm over here trying to eat breakfast, and you over here, trying to throw custard pies at people and shit. I need you to fall back and chill out. So,
Hey,
and,
you want
and
to see that?
it's bad if Will Smith got something to say because Will Smith don't got nothing to say about nobody. Everybody loves him.
He's one of the most positive people I've ever seen in my life. I saw him
Yeah.
in person at YouTube Space LA, and he had a whole talk. And I'm like, dang, this guy is like super positive. But you want to see method acting playing out in the worst possible way? Look at the behind the scenes of Man on the Moon, Jim Carrey. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Yeah.
like, and what's his name? Andy Kaufman
Yes.
just took over his whole soul, and he was Andy Kaufman 24/7 on set, and
That
people
has to be
hated it.
annoying.
People
Yeah.
hated it.
Because
He,
people hated Andy Kaufman because he was so out there
he was so eccentric.
with
Yeah,
his comedy. Yeah.
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 Mm.
So yeah, I can no. Mm. Hey, so speaking of the Spider-Man universe, Tom Holland is saying that he is prepared to play Spider-Man up until he's 30, but there is a bit of a caveat. He said, "What I'm basically trying to say is that if I'm still 30, still playing Spider-Man,
Mhm.
and I haven't passed on the baton to Miles Morales or Spider-Woman or something more diverse, then I'll have done something wrong in the sense of the duties that I have to the character."
Mm.
Yo, man, I mean, my man sounds like he's putting a fist up for the home team and everybody else of diversity as well. How much of a factor does him dating Zendaya have to do with him being a
Oh
little
my
more woke
God.
than? I'm just saying. Look, this is the alcohol, and we're having a conversation. Listen. That is an amazing, beautiful woman who I'm sure has a lot of influence over the things that he does now as a result.
Yo,
of
I did not even
you
think
know.
about that at all.
I'm just
I
saying.
didn't
I mean,
even
it's
think
not like you're
about
gonna be
that.
like fuck Miles and you over there smashing Zendaya. That's terrible. That don't mix. That's not a
No, I
happy
no,
home.
but I didn't even consider the possibility that she was going to school his white ass on all the ongoing. I never even considered that. That's like, did someone tell you that, or you came up with that on your own?
No, I'm just saying they are dating. They are dating, and
No,
this
I
is a
know they're
quote that he just
dating.
recently said.
I know they're dating, but I didn't consider the influence she might have on his perspective on things like that.
There has to be some influence. If you're with anybody, they're going to have an influence on you. It doesn't matter who they are, right? So why wouldn't it? She knows. She'd be like, listen, you cool, but Miles is better.
But also think about it. When he turns 30, he's going to look, what, 17?
Yeah.
You know what?
Yes.
30 is when what's his name started playing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield.
There you
when
go.
That's when he was just getting started. That's crazy, isn't it?
So he might be Miles Morales' classmate in some alternate dimension. Who knows? But that would be pretty rad.
It's just so fascinating to see the transition that happens, because like these actors, they're just like so hungry for something amazing, and then they get it. They just get it too much. And they're like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. You know?
Yeah.
Like, what's her name? Daisy Ridley? Is that her name?
Mhm.
For Star Wars? Like, no one really knew who she was until Star Wars. Like, seriously, like, did you know who she was before Star Wars? I didn't.
No,
Right?
I had no idea.
And after the second or third one, she's like, I'm done with Star Wars after this. I'm like, bitch, you better keep doing it. This made you who you are.
Oh, that's
You know
a
what
big
I'm saying?
burden to carry that kind of franchise, though. Like before we found out about
Hey, Mark Hamill's still carrying that burden. She can
To
carry it
this
for at least-
day.
yeah, to this day. I mean, she can
Yeah,
do one more
but-
movie.
But those were the
how?
good Star Wars movies.
Yeah, those are the good Star Wars movies. And how many times did you see Mark Hamill's face? Like, he still bubbled, but as a voice actor is when he like really shined. Name me another Mark Hamill film that was a hit outside of Star Wars. Don't worry, I'll wait.
But what's his name? Silent Bob and Strike Back. What's the name of that movie?
That was 30 years after the fact.
Doesn't matter. What's it
30
called? Jay and Silent Bob. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and he had a bit role to boot on top of it. He didn't star in it.
You didn't give me any parameters. You just said.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, he took the fame and was like, I can't have this. The only person that really super shined from Star Wars is Harrison Ford. He was in his bag. And
I mean, he did. I know you said not his face, but like he did Joker for years.
His voice. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
His voice acting was spot on. But even Harrison Ford, like if you see any Harrison Ford interview regarding Star Wars, he gives zero damns. He's like, you can ask me what you want, I don't give a damn. Now go find me a plane to crash.
Yeah.
Climbs right out.
Dude is a survivor.
I remember when that happened too. This was at Santa Monica Airport. I'm like, dude, stop it. That's when we didn't know what was going on with episode 7, though. We had no idea. You know, because at the time we thought maybe he's in all 3 of the movies. You know, when he crashed that plane. But I guess he got killed by his son. It's like, now's a good time to go.
Yeah, I mean, but didn't he like crash 2 planes? He crashed 2. That's what I'm saying. Like, Harrison's like,
he doesn't give a shit.
Don't know about
He's gonna play Indiana Jones again, isn't he?
Why would you drag? What is he, like 75? He's got to be like pushing 80. He's got to be like 75.
I think he's
right?
close to 80.
Why would you do that?
Because the
to an
glass
elder
crystal one
statesman?
didn't do well, so he needs to pass the mantle to somebody else.
Oh my God, that was supposed to be the passing of the torch to Shia LaBeouf, right?
It was
Shia LaBeouf?
supposed to.
Yeah, and he fumbled the bag on that too. Golly, Shia. Is he still crazy? Anybody see?
Yes.
Has there been a Shia LaBeouf
Well,
film
I
anywhere?
mean, he had some kind of Me Too thing not that long ago, and after that he went underground after that.
In the dark.
But yeah, like his head's been up and down, Shia LaBeouf. Like you just don't know what to do with him. One of my favorite things of his was watching him on Hot Ones, because like you just see this crazy individual eating hot wings and crying. That's the weirdest thing ever.
I know what I'm watching later.
Yeah,
It's in the queue.
he's a fascinating individual, and his movie, what's not Peanut Butter? What's it? He had 2 movies that came out at the same time. I forgot what they were called.
Honey Boy?
Honey Boy, that one. Have you seen Honey Boy?
Is it any good?
Dude, that movie messed me up. Like, I can never watch it again. I think it was just too real for me. I found it too relatable. So it was just such an intense experience watching that movie. Honey Boy, I think it's really good. It's based on his own experiences. I think it's really good. Yeah.
Oh.
That came out at the same time as Peanut Butter, whatever, Falcon or whatever that other one was called, which was also decent. But Honey Boy, man, that's an intense independent film. And I thought he did a really good job with it. So, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check that out. Let me take a moment to say what's up to the chat. I do apologize that I have not been giving you all the necessary love. Big shout outs to Johnny Randolph. He said something was worst thing ever. I don't know exactly what he's talking about, but I think we were talking about that's what it was. M. Night Shyamalan films. He said yeah, The Happening wasn't really good. That was Paul Wright that said that. And Johnny chimed in and said that he ruined that movie. Defunct says my tip for watching old is to turn it off 10 minutes before the end. He said it just keeps going a bit too far. Thank you, Chronic, for tuning in. He referenced The Village as another M. Night film. Let's see what's going on. Johnny Randolph said that he did not like The Legend of Korra. I mean, like I said, it was a love-hate kind of thing. You either loved it or you hated it. There's very few people that's in between. He also gave a shout out to Harley Quinn, stating that it was really good. Let's see. He said Haley was better than Margot, Johnny Randolph, and that is referring to Harley
fair.
Quinn.
Wait, what? Hold on, what was that? I missed that part.
Regarding the Harley Quinn voices and or actresses, Johnny Randolph said Haley was better than Margot, referring to Margot Robbie.
Okay.
Defunct said, I am on team Jared Leto's Paolo performance is the best part of House of Gucci. Paolo. Yeah, I have not seen it. I keep hearing, once again, I hear it's must see. And then some people say, you can kind of just chill on it for a bit. Have anybody seen it yet?
I wanted to. I was very excited about it, but then I heard what you heard, and I was like, I'll wait. Yeah. I don't need to risk COVID to watch this movie. Like it's not Spider-Man No Way Home. I don't think that's the kind of movie you necessarily need to watch in theaters to enjoy it. So I wasn't going to risk it when I heard mixed reviews. So, but I'm definitely still intrigued by it. That I haven't seen that or Ghostbusters. Those are the two films on my list that I still need to watch.
I enjoyed Ghostbusters. It was fun. I like the throwback. I liked the hat tip to the old school. They did a really good job with it. And that little girl that plays the lead, she absolutely kills the role. I'm not trying to spoil anything for anybody in case have you seen it?
I have not seen it.
Okay.
So I need to watch it.
All right. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Big huge out to Paul Wright, who also said no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
That is a fact. That is an absolute fact. They're an interesting pedigree of fandom. Paul also said, actually, there is a sect of every fandom. He said that you could say that about. That is very true.
It's so true.
Yeah, but you don't see like people that are like fans of like the series Friends sending hate mail and death threats to people on Twitter. It's just it's a different type of fandom.
You know what though? I know that I'm sure people have had experiences with DC fans that are intense, but for me, as someone who has a channel with 2 million subscribers and another channel with 250,000, and putting out content regarding Marvel and DC fans have been the nicest to me, like the absolute nicest to me. When you deal with DC, Marvel, Star Wars, all kinds of stuff, all kinds of different fandoms and industries, DC fans have been actually the most patient with me. They're just happy that I'm paying attention to it. I'm like, all right, and it's interesting how much attention it can get, because after Justice League, the Zack Snyder one came out, you and I, Sintel, we did a live stream about Justice League Snyder Cut, and there was a lot of love and appreciation in there, more than I've seen for Marvel stuff sometimes. So it's just interesting. I always gotta like say that for some odd reason. It's just interesting to me that DC fans have been very patient for the amount of vitriol that's spoken about them. They're so toxic. Going out. And it's so that's why we got a Zack Snyder's Justice League. But they just want what they want, like anybody else.
Mhm.
So, you know, now we need the David Ayer cut for what's it called? Suicide Squad.
I'm good. Hey, big shout out to the Funk in the chat as well. He said, "Oh man, what would the Ross Rachel discourse had been like if Twitter had been out back then?" Yeah, that's very true. Speaking of popular but toxic relationships, yeah, there is no doubt about that. Jabby always gives me the side eye because I'm not a huge Friends fan. Stephanie, were you a Friends fan back in the day?
I just went to Warner Brothers for their studio tour, and that's the only thing that I walked by and I didn't care for because it was never a thing for me when I was younger.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, I had to watch Frasier.
Yeah.
I
caught up
a little bit.
I caught up
Yeah,
on I caught up on Seinfeld, and now I'm catching up on Curb Your Enthusiasm. But there was interesting because I was doing a live stream earlier today, and there are jokes in Friends that you just can't do anymore, like Ross and Rachel at different episodes pretending to be Indian, like doing an Indian.
You can't do that no more.
Doing an Indian. It's like it's obviously a joke, but you can't do that anymore. And to take things a step further, one of the people in the live stream was like, "Yo, have you heard about Zuckerberg only eating meat that he hunts?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, it's a thing. Like he only eats meat that he can hunt with a bow and arrow." And so I looked it up on the news. This was like some video from ABC from 10 years ago. And the part that tripped me out wasn't the fact that he only will eat the meat that he hunts. It was the way they presented him, going, he speaks Chinese. And when they showed him, when they showed his face, when they said he speaks Chinese, they showed his face on a cartoon body with the Great Wall behind him, and they had a gong. Like,
what year was this?
This is 10 years ago, but it's still the news. It's still like you're supposed to be mature, you know. A gong play. They might as well have had the chopstick song playing at the same time when they said he speaks Mandarin. I'm like, this is crazy to me. You cannot do that. Like, how does a news agency get away with that? It was the craziest thing to me. But
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, so do we have anybody here a DBZ fan? Anybody Dragon Ball fan?
Should I show you all the DVDs on the shelf?
Oh, okay. A lot of anime series, including Dragon Ball Z. A lot of that content was getting taken away from you, and which means a lot of livelihoods were being taken away. And one streamer in particular was really smacked by a bunch of legal rules regarding using anime content. Well, apparently that YouTuber has found a way to fight back, and YouTube is allowing people to stream content that may have copyright claims internationally, but allow those streamers to regionally block that content from those countries. Is this a win for everybody, or are we kind of like avoiding the inevitable regarding lawsuits?
I think that's at least a temporary win. I heard about that story because that guy got screwed pretty hard. Like you're right. It is his livelihood, and he was doing reviews or something and reactions, and he was like, he had clips and whatnot. And I think he was doing everything within the means of fair use, which in itself is a very, very vague rule on purpose, so that you can argue it out in court. But from what I understand, he wasn't like being egregious with his usage. And then Funimation or whichever company it is came after him.
Toy Animation.
Oh yeah, they came after him hard, which was like the most bizarre thing because they copyright striked him across his channel, like all of his content, all of his livelihood that he's been building for years, and he had to like try to go and fight for every single video, which is just an insane process into itself if you've ever done that. And I think that they've even worked with him to promote their stuff, which made it even weirder. Like the whole thing was bizarre. And I think that the copyright process is just very, very abused on YouTube. Like if you were to do a review of something, a film, right? And you use their footage and you're like, I didn't like this movie because XYZ. But you use enough of their footage that they can copyright strike your video and take it down. They're silencing you, which is, that's insane to me that they can do that. And so I've been waiting for YouTube to grow some balls and fight back on behalf of the users that are making the money.
Mhm.
You know, and so I think that's actually super cool. And region gating is a huge thing that a lot of YouTubers don't get access to unless they're paired with a multi-channel network, which takes 10% of their money every single month or more. You know, I've had multiple MCNs over the course of the years, and I don't have one right now, and they don't actually do a heck of a lot for YouTubers. They say they do. They sell you on all the snake oil, but they don't
Mhm.
actually do anything. So I think it's a win.
So Stephanie, does this affect your world in any way regarding content creators getting a little more leeway by region gating their content?
I think yes. The short answer is yes. If there are certain things that
What happened?
Oh, I think she had a little internet snafu.
okay, hold on, let me try this again.
Okay.
I hate this internet.
I
There
thought
are
she I
certain
thought she was just taking a very long pregnant pause to collect her thoughts. I was like, oh, this is intense.
Oh, I think we lost her and
I'm
gained her.
gonna
And she's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Jesus, I am so sorry,
It's all
everyone.
good.
This apartment living is killing me. No, but different countries have different rules, and if you can keep your channel and just not have it seen in some areas, I think that's better than having your entire channel completely shut down. So Jabby,
Right.
same idea. I think this was a win long like for now. For now.
Yeah. I mean, because everything comes down to where they hold copyright claims and stuff like that.
Mhm.
You know, and so if they don't hold copyright claims in certain areas, then it's okay by Japan's term. The thing is, like, there are some companies that just don't get it. You know, Nintendo was one of those companies for the longest time where they were copyright striking people for using their content. It's like, yo, are you dumb? Like, they're promoting your shit. This is how a lot of games get promoted. They're keeping this conversation about your game alive, and you're inhibiting that. Why would you do that? It didn't make any sense. And so now I think Nintendo's learned, but there was a long time where they were like, okay, you can use our stuff, but you have to give us 50% of all your earnings from your channel. It's like, what? Why would you? It was something absurd like that. And so this whole Funimation thing or Toy, whatever the company is, that it was just a stupid move. Like, why would you do that to somebody, especially someone who's promoting your shit? It just didn't make any sense. So it's good to hear that there's some movement happening there in his favor, because there's these big companies, like, they'll do something and then the little guy has no recourse, no nothing. So
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what kind of precedent this sets. Because from speaking from the little guy's perspective, you're right. It is a huge, big, monumental win for the little guy. But a lot of times the big guys take wins that the little guys have and exploit them in weird and interesting ways. So it is going to be curious to see how it all pans out in the future, and if this region gating is a consistent thing and not just something that's like a band-aid that's only going to fix it for the next 90 days.
I want to see some movement in the music area on YouTube. That's where I feel like we're sorely lacking. When I did a Joker trailer review, there was a song that played for 4 seconds. 4 seconds at the end of the trailer. My whole video got demonetized, or rather, all the monetization was redirected to the creator of that music for 4 seconds out of my 12-minute video. It's just not fair. Like, that's not right. 4 seconds, you know.
Mhm.
So,
Mm.
and
Well,
YouTube's like, oh, we're keeping our hands clean here. It's
Right, because I just
Yeah.
got an email from, I think, Twitch or Facebook saying that they opened up their availability on what music you can listen to and what you can stream with.
Really? Yeah, you know what? That seemed like it would be the really smart move, especially for a platform like what's the one? TikTok. I'm trying to think it's the one with the with all the videos and the songs like that. Like, I can't imagine a platform being like an absolute stickler by the book regarding music, when music is like one of the main reasons why many of those videos even get any spins to begin with.
well, what you're talking about is actually really important there, because like TikTok, a lot of songs have become insanely popular because of TikTok, because it was shared there. And so I don't look at TikTok or listen to it, but I do know that that has helped accelerate the growth of popularity for songs
Yeah.
in unprecedented ways. And so, yeah, I'm just waiting for Disney to buy everything so that we don't have to deal with it anymore. You know?
The mouse will own it
So
all
true.
eventually.
You know, when they own,
You thought you could get a win, couldn't you?
when they own Google, when they own Apple, when they own all the music, it'll be a much better place.
Yo,
We'll see.
okay. Yeah. Goofy, go get the burner.
Sorry, I get a little goofy when I drink alcohol.
Well, gosh, Mickey. Should I put him in a headlock again? Should I kill his children? No, I'm definitely going off the rails because it is absolutely close to closing all of this up, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to conclude the news segment and just the general conversation and shenaniganery that has been going on this evening. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for hopping in. Jabby, so thank you so much for bopping in. Before I go through the whole rigmarole of clicking up, subscribing, and all that other stuff, let them know where they can find you at, Stephanie. What's your socials?
Ooh. Honestly, I produce Nom Talk Network, so I am always on the other side of that chat. So if you want to go on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, it is Nom, like a Nami Nom Talk Network.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Jabby,
So yeah, if you're trying to catch reviews and reactions to American stuff or South Korean stuff, go to Get Jabby on YouTube, youtube.com/GetJabby. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's @JabbyKaway.
Thank y'all so much. Huge shout out to Digital Click for all of the creative that you provide. If you look around and you see all these beautiful borders that are surrounding us with all of this amazing graphical art, Digital Click is the people that you need to get in touch with. They make us look pretty. In the immortal words of Deion Sanders, when I look good, I play good. When I play good, I make money. Listen, when we look good, we give you a good show. When we give you a good show, you come back. If you want that kind of feeling, please hit up Digital Click. They will hook you up. Tell them Centel sent you, man. Hey, GeekBeast is now on podcast form as well. So if you missed our live streams, don't sweat it. You can listen to us on the following day using either Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else that you get your podcasts. And if you're like podcasting, this is a great walk around show to go with. And it's definitely a great show to listen to when you're stuck in traffic. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, /The Geekish Network on YouTube. Hit the like button. Of course, that is how the YouTube algorithm knows that you're digging what we're giving you. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? I'm talking to you. Subscribe, hit the button right now. Of course, Facebook, we're on multiple platforms, /The Geekish Network on Facebook. And our Twitch stream is still alive as well, but we'll be doing game streams, charity streams, cooking streams, things of that nature. So you can still be a part of that experience and consider subscribing to that channel. And if you have Amazon Prime, you can link to your account and sub to us using Prime Gaming. It costs you nothing, but it helps us out tremendously. And the number one way to spread the word is through your socials. Go ahead and, click those posts, hit the share button, let everybody know that you're hanging out with some cool geek news and information on Fridays. We're getting faded too, talking that geek shit. And a big shout out to the guy upstairs, Rodney, one of our co-producers. Huge shout out to my man Chuck as well, who is on Players Holiday, and he will be returning next week. It'll be business as usual. So Monday, Pod Squadron is going to be the one up next. If you want that big Star Wars bag, and I'm talking about they get down into the little details of the Star Wars minutia galaxy universe, all of that together. That is what you need to check yourself out with. That's going to be it. I'm almost out of breath. I can feel the rest of this alcohol kicking in. So I'm going to go ahead and take my grown ass off the air. Thank y'all so much for being a part of us. Wave to the happy people, everybody. Wave to the happy people. We out.